Wow, this lighting is terrible.
WandaVision. WandaVision.
Hello, this is a late video. I was going to do it like a week or two ago, but I never got around to it. So I'm going to do it now, before tomorrow's episode, because I'm pretty sure tomorrow's episode there's not going to be a lot of mystery left to unravel. Um, I'm of course talking about WandaVision and the many theories that people have had with WandaVision. So I've just rounded up some that I've seen online that I think are the most plausible, really. I'm going to list them off here. For my own fun, really, I suppose. I've also got one theory that I thought of myself that I haven't seen anyone else think of. So I don't know if that means it's not a good theory or what, but I think it's pretty plausible. But then I'm pretty biased, so wait till the end and I'll tell you my theory. So yeah, let's get into it, I suppose. Okay, so theory number one that I've seen is from like the first few episodes actually, and it's that the Stark advert in episode 1 is obviously hinting at the bomb that blew up her family, but what if it's also a hint? This is how early the theory is, but I think it's still a plausibility. What if it's hinting that she's using Tony's, it's called BARF technology, I think, BARF. You know, the one at the start of Captain America Civil War, where he made that technology to recreate loved ones and deal with the past. You know, he's talking to, where he looks younger and he's talking to his dad. So yeah, what if she's using that technology and sort of amping it up? Because I think we've seen from episode 3, was it? Or no, episode 4, where we saw Vision's dead body, like from her perspective. It's clear that he's not fully back. So what if she's using that technology somehow to just bring back his memories, to make like a whole new personality, like, or to recreate his personality using her memories? Could be happening. Could be. That's pretty much as far as that goes. Like, I don't think there's been any other evidence of that, other than the fact that she's clearly just using dead bodies. Well, his dead body. So whatever's going on there could be the Tony's technology, could not be. Who knows? So these theories aren't in any other order, really, any particular order, but because this one's from the latest episode 6, yeah, where the claymation advert of the guy starving to death on the beach. I've seen some people say that that's a hint at Dormammu being the villain rather than Mephisto, because of course Dormammu, like, what is it, like, sucks your life out of you or something like that. I don't really know a lot about him, but I think he does that, and I think that's why people think that, because of course that guy got the life sucked out of him. But I thought that is plausible, because of course the adverts are each hinting at something, like they've got Hydra soap and the Hydra watch and Tony's bomb. Yeah, anyway, but I think, what if a little bit of my own theory added onto this is that what if the ad is referencing the people on the outskirts of town? So of course we see in the new episode that Vision is in the outskirts of town, and then people aren't really doing much, like literally doing nothing, like they're just like repeating that woman who was packing the washing, which is really sad actually, but and she was just like crying. So obviously they're not being used in the sitcom, so like Wanda's powers aren't being directed at them, so they're obviously just going to repeat that, and they can't eat because they're just doing that, so they're obviously slowly starving, and they only function if Wanda is near them. So is the advert referencing them? Like, is he referencing Dormammu, or is it referencing these people starving to death on the outskirts of town, or is it both? Is he sucking the life out of the people on the outskirts of town? That one seems a little bit more far-fetched, but who knows? Okay, so this one is an exciting theory. As a fan, a big fan of Agents of Shield, this theory sort of ties in with Agents of Shield. Is that Hayward, what's he called, Tyler Hayward, the sword head guy, is actually a Hydra agent. That theory comes from there being a character in Agents of Shield called Brian Hayward, who was revealed to be a Hydra agent, I think in one of the early seasons. He was working with Shield, and then he sort of revealed himself to be Hydra. So the theory is that what if they're related? Tyler and Brian Hayward are related. That's it. That's as far as the theory goes, really. If they're related, then maybe this guy's Hydra because he's acting a bit weird. Because he is acting a bit weird. Like he seems like he's got something to hide, or he's done some shady stuff. He's just like a shady guy in general, really. Maybe there's nothing to read into him with him, but like he seems like so adamant that like Wanda's the bad guy. So it's like, I mean, even after like Monica said like, I don't know, she's under someone's control, and he's like, no, absolutely not. So like, what if Hydra want to get? What if Sword is Hydra, or Hydra is in short Sword, like they did the infiltrated Shield, and they want to get Wanda back because obviously Hydra gave her powers in the first place, and then she ran off. So what if Hydra have sent Hayward to like retrieve her, and also get Vision's vibranium stuff as well? Who knows? I've seen another theory saying that he might be a Skrull, in disguise, which of course would set up Secret Invasion. That's possible. I don't know why a Skrull would be so involved in what's going on in WandaVision. I'm not sure. But then he is the head of Sword, so it makes sense that a Skrull would want to be the head of like a big agency like that. And I suppose that this is just part of the job description, is going to weird stuff like WandaVision. Who knows? There is another one. I didn't even clock this. Some people smarter than me clock this. Vision mentioned a book in episode 3, I think, called the Descent of Man, which apparently is a book about the evolution of humans and society, and how that happens over the years, and Charles Darwin and stuff like that, I think, which of course could be a hint of mutants to come, because mutants are like the next evolution of people. So him mentioning that book could be a little tease of mutants, or it could be just him referencing the book because he's quite smart. He's quite a smart robot, isn't he? So who knows? I don't think we'll even get a follow up to that, really. Like, remember when Vision mentioned this? It might just be for one that people have read into, and it's true if you want it to be true. I don't know. So of course everyone knows the theory that Agnes is Agatha Harkness, the witch. But I think in the comics, not the witch comic, I think the Vision comic, his dog is called Sparky, which of course is the dog that's in the program. Although this one, the one in the comics, is a robot dog, and this is just a normal dog. I thought it seems like a normal dog. And her plant is like a magic plant from the mountain where she'd come from or something. And it kills Sparky Well, Sparky is found dead in her bush. So what if the Sparky ate her magic plant, like it happened in the comics apparently, and that's how she died. That's how Sparky died, and that would prove that it's her, that she's Agatha. Of course, she used it as an excuse to try and get Wanda to resurrect the dog. So, like, is she behind this somehow? I'll get into that in a minute, actually, because she seemed to know that Wanda could bring people back to life, although Wanda said no in that instance. And of course, she's dressed as a witch in episode 6. I mean, if that's not like as on the nose a reference as you can get to her being a witch, I don't know what is. Like, if she's not a witch, even if she's not Agatha Harkness, she's definitely got to be some sort of meta-human with magic powers, right? I'd think so anyway. But who knows? We'll see. Because yeah, it seems like she's under Wanda's control until Vision touches her in episode 6, and then she, of course, mentions, "Oh, you're an Avenger," and Vision's like, "What the hell is an Avenger?" So like, if she is controlling Wanda, then why would she be like that? Unless she's putting it on and teasing Vision to see how he'd react to hearing the word like Avenger and stuff. But then, like, why does she also miraculously arrive with the items they need, like the doghouse and the dinner in episode 1? So like, she's obviously a bit more than just a regular character in the sitcom. But is she all there? Like, is her brain all there, or is she putting an act on? Because of course she wants to do another take when Vision asked her to pick up the babies, and she's like, "Do you want to do that again?" And in episode 3, she's talking with Herb. I think they're talking about Monica, aren't they? Saying like she doesn't belong here. So clearly she's aware that it's a sitcom. But then she goes back into character. Like, so like, is she acting, or is Wanda like losing control of her in the moments? I'd say that the reason that she's so aware, but also still under control, seemingly under control, is that she is a meta-human. She's some sort of magic person. If she's not Agatha Harkness, she's definitely got magic somewhere. So we'll see, I suppose. Another theory that I've seen is that this series is doing the House of M storyline, but backwards, because obviously she's in the House of M, her kids die and she goes crazy, but in this she's obviously crazy because Vision's died, and of course there's no mutants to kill, so of course what if she introduces mutants instead of killing them? And of course Elizabeth Olsen has also said her favourite story is House of M, which I'll show you now.
Like to see Scarlet Witch do next, or where would you like
I
to see her go?
mean, my favorite is House of M, but that would never happen. But
Never say never in this.
I mean, if she
new
could have 2 fake babies and everyone tell her that they don't really exist, and then her just go nuts, that would be unbelievable. But I don't think they're gonna do that. It might be a little too dark for the Marvel universe. When she loses her mind, it's my favorite thing in the comics.
So good.
Yeah.
We did.
But I think we finally get to go down some roads in comic books that are favorites and explore, and it's gonna be a wild ride. What I hope to come out at the end of it is for people to really understand why she's such a powerful superhero in the entire universe in the comics, because this is our first time getting to use her as a title character, our first time we get to really explore everything that goes into her psyche. And I think it's really surprising and creative the way we're handling it.
So yeah, maybe. maybe it would make a lot of sense, I think, like the way that she's going crazy. And of course, what if, because of course Monica is getting her powers, it seems, from the radiation in the circle, or like activating some sort of powers in her that she could have got from hanging around Captain Marvel or something. So what if the town activates everyone else's X gene, and introduces mutants? Who knows? Or like, what if like the town, her bubble could spread across the whole country, maybe? Because of course it spread in episode 6. I don't know. Or maybe she'll introduce them somewhere else. She'll just say like, instead in the comics when she said no more mutants, what if she just says no, comma, more mutants? Who knows? What the hell? Oh. Who knows? I think it's pretty cool idea. Of course, Hayward is tracking Vision, which would be another. I know I said that the Hydra theory doesn't go as far as this, but I just realised that I wrote more. So Hayward is tracking Vision specifically, like his vibranium, because of course Sword was experimenting on him, and Sword. It seems like Sword want the vibranium in Vision more than actual Vision, because they just sat and watched him die as he exited the circle, and he was fading away or whatever, and no one went to help him. Which I think I get that people think that because they want his body and not him, but of course he was disintegrating. His body won't be there anymore. So, like, did they not realise that? They were sat watching him, and not. Did they know that his body would be put back together in the circle or something? I don't know. But yeah, Sword want his corpse more than him, which I think is pretty plausible. Of course, Evan Peters' Quicksilver is in this. And he quickly figured out what was going on, didn't he? Or did he know all along what was going on? So a couple of theories about that is like they forgot to wipe his memory, or like Wanda forgot to wipe his memory. If it's even Wanda that called him in, because of course she was shocked to see him. So who knows? But there is another theory that he is working for, or is, Doctor Strange undercover, and that Doctor Strange like reached into the multiverse and pulled out Evan Peters' Quicksilver. But then when he entered the town, his memories got scrambled, and he thinks that he's the MCU Quicksilver now, which is quite interesting. Or that he is Doctor Strange undercover. Could be Doctor Strange undercover. I think that's less plausible, because why would Doctor Strange just not go in as himself? I don't know. I mean, I guess he could send Evan Peters in, or be Evan Peters, to like scout out the place and see what he's dealing with first. But yeah, I don't know. The theory that he's tied to Doctor Strange is quite an interesting one. But I've got my own theory about why he acts like MCU Quicksilver, but looks like X-Men Quicksilver, and I'll tell you that in a minute at the end. Of course, Quicksilver called the kids the Devil's Spawn. Did Mephisto have a hand in making the kids, or Dormammu, or whatever? At the cinemas, The Incredibles and Parent Trap are showing, which I think both came out in 2004. Is it a nod to Fantastic Four, which also came out in Is it a nod to Fantastic Four, which also came out in 2004, the same year as them two films? Maybe. No, because I think Parent Trap came out before that. I don't know. Maybe I'm making this up. I'll check, actually. Yeah, Parent Trap was 1998, so I think the theory is just based on Incredibles being released in 2004. So I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. The aerospace engineer is an interesting one, especially considering the interview that Teyona Paris has just done, saying that we're not going to believe our eyes when we see who's playing the engineer. Well, when we see who the engineer is. So, who is the engineer? Well, some people think Reed Richards or Sue Storm, which of course would fit with the Fantastic Four tease. Even though they did say that they're not going to tease Fantastic Four in this show. Are they lying or what? I don't know. Could be Captain Marvel. I thought it was Captain Marvel at first, but I don't think she's an aerospace engineer though, isn't she? Blue Marvel is one, apparently. I've not heard of him before, but apparently he has a thing with Monica in the comics, and he's an aerospace engineer, and he has superpowers. Could be Blue Marvel. If anyone knows who he is, then you can get excited about that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because that could be the Luke Skywalker level cameo that they keep talking about. One that I had was Wanda could have tried to turn back time in town. It's like she could have seen Thanos turning back time, and thought, when he killed Vision, and she could have thought, I'll do the same thing to go back to when Vision was alive, but she went too far back and went to the 50s. So she confined it to the town so that she wouldn't hurt anyone else. And she would have to live through the decades in the town, because of course Monica said that she's set up a barrier to stop herself from hurting other people. So what if she realised that? It's like she sent everyone back to the 50s, and she's like, oh bugger. So she confined that into one bubble, and now she's living through the decades to try and get to the present day. I don't know. Could be plausible. Who knows? It's not as plausible as some of the other ones, I admit. There was a Kick-Ass reference, which was an interesting one, because she seemed confused when he said Kick-Ass. Because of course Aaron Taylor Johnson played MCU Quicksilver, and he was Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass, and Evan Peters was in Kick-Ass as Aaron Taylor Johnson's friend. So Evan Peters said Kick-Ass when he isn't Kick-Ass, and she said Kick-Ass as if she's just realised that Evan Peters is not Kick-Ass, as in Evan Peters is not her brother. Her brother is Kick-Ass. Like a meta thing, she's just realised that this is not the same person as her MCU brother, and they did that through a Kick-Ass reference. That would be really cool if that's true. I would like to believe that's true. I don't know, but I mean, clearly something's going on with Quicksilver that we don't know yet, and that could be it. So yeah, onto my theory about this actually, is that I think MCU, she's got MCU Pietro's body, like she's got Vision's body, and she tried to bring him back, or someone tried to bring him back, but because of course she can't bring back bodies, it seems, or she won't, or she doesn't know how to, or something, as a reference with the dog and Vision's dead body. What if she, instead of having Pietro's dead body, she got his mind somehow, because she managed to bring back Vision's mind, so she's brought back his mind and put him into the X-Men Quicksilver's body, which is Evan Peters. So the Evan Peters we're seeing is Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver. His mind has been put into Evan Peters' body. That's my theory. I've not seen anyone else say this before. So if it becomes true, you heard it here first. He said the last thing he remembers is getting shot in the streets, aka Age of Ultron, when he got shot and killed, and waking up here looking different. And he said he doesn't know why he looks different. So like, I think that this is Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver, and she's reached through the multiverse and she's pulled out like a doppelganger body of him, or someone has. Well, if she's not, then like Agatha has or whatever, and put his mind into Evan Peters' body, and that's why he has the same memories as her, as like kids, and is also just as confused at why he looks different. Because if this is just X-Men Quicksilver, why would he be confused that he looks like this? If he's not got at least some of the mind of the MCU Quicksilver in him. That's my theory, and that's what I'm going to end on. And I'm going to come back to this in a few weeks when the series is over and see if I'm right. And so the video is not going to be as long. No, I mean, I'm going to end it here so the video does not end up being too long. So if you like these theories, I'll probably do another one if tomorrow's episode doesn't reveal too much anyway. If it has more questions, then we'll do another theory video. But yeah, I'm going to also have some episode reviews coming out in the next week, so keep an eye out for those. So if you want, then subscribe and like and all that stuff. You don't have to, but you can just come back and see the reviews if you want. Or you don't have to do that either. You just watch this. But yeah, anyway, peace.